Good morning everybody, it's Brett here, Lionheart84. Welcome to at last, sun shines out, a sunny Sunday morning, but it's really windy and it's quite cold for the end of August. I think if I remember last year on our August bank holiday, I think we had 31 degrees centigrade, which is obviously mid-80s Fahrenheit, whereas today I think we're expecting 17 degrees centigrade, about 63 Fahrenheit as the maximum. I'm not sure what it is at the moment, but it's pleasant out here in the sunshine anyway. But I was just going to do a short, an update video really. Wanted to talk a little bit more about my Asian pear that fell prematurely from the tree, and what sort of brought this about was one of my good friends who follows me on YouTube, Louise, was saying that she thought it was a really good sized fruit, which I didn't really think about much at the time, barring the fact that I was disappointed it had fallen off, it's so small. Well, in actual fact, I think the reason it brought it to my attention was she said to me, she thought it reminded her of a Nashpati pear. So I hadn't heard of that variety, so I decided to look the word up, and it appears that Nashpati, and I'm happy to be corrected here, according to Google, is actually the Urdu word for pear. So it's a generic word rather than an actual variety. Now I don't know what sort of sizes pears tend to be out in the sort of Indian, Bangladeshi, Pakistan areas of Asia, and I don't know what sort of varieties they have out here, because obviously normally we think of pears as a sort of a cold climate fruit, but one presumes there are some varieties that will grow in warmer climates. But what interests me is she thought the pear this is the one that fell off the tree, she thought it was a very good size, but actually I felt it was quite small, because Asian pears tend to get to 2 or 3 times this size. I've got a Shinziki on the tree still, which is another variety. This one is a Hong Li, and the Shinziki is certainly at least twice the size and weight of this, possibly 3 times. In fact, Shinziki is a round variety, which a lot of the Asian pears are, whereas this one, the Hong Li, is more of a traditional pear shaped. So what I thought I'd do is go to the supermarket. I tried to buy an Asian or Nashi pear from the supermarket, but they didn't have any. So what I bought was this variety here, which is QT, spelt QTEE. Now, one of the differences between understanding Asian Nashi pears is they're actually a completely different species. This variety, this species here, is Pyrus Pyrifolia, and also there are variants of it which is Pyrus usuriensis. Now, these pears are natives, not this one, these pears are natives of East Asia, and they're variously known as Chinese pear, Nashi pear, Asian pear, Japanese pear, Korean pear, and of course there are different varieties of them. This particular one is Hong Li, and I also have Shinziki, but just to give you a handful of the common names, there's Ichiban, Chojuro, Hozui, Kosui, Shinko. I mean, there are hundreds of varieties of Asian pear, but this particular one is Hozui, and they tend to be pale yellow skinned, or sort of like a golden yellow, or with sort of goldy brown flecks in them when they're ripe, which I will be able to show on my Shinziki when it's ready. This one, because it fell off prematurely because of the wind, is nowhere near the right colour, but I'm going to try and ripe it with bananas. But just to give an idea of size comparison, this is a traditional European pear. Now, the European pears are a different Latin name altogether. They are Pyrus Communis, and they're the sort of pears that you'd see in the supermarket under the name Conference, Cutie, like this one, which is a red blush pear, Doyen de Comis, Williams Bon Chrétien, Louise Bon d'Avranches. I don't know why, but a lot of them have French names, so I presume they were developed in France. But I thought, just to give us an idea of the immaturity of this one, that weighs, don't know if you can see that in the sun, but that weighs 95 grams. Now, the other one I've got here, this QT, which is an average size for one of these, is 160 2 grams, so more than, well, about double the weight, I suppose, roughly. But I'm expecting my Shinziki to be at least 200 grams. To see when it's ready. I've tied it to the tree in the bag so it can't fall off and bruise, and I expect it to be ripe in the next week or two. I got one last year, but I just thought I'd talk about the pears a little bit, because I think a lot of people are not aware of the difference between what we call Asian, nashi, Chinese, Japanese and Korean pears, as opposed to all the various European pears, because they are actually completely different species with multiple varieties. Now, I'm presuming that the most of the pears you see grown in America are probably varieties of Pyrus Communis, the European pear. Now, they may have the same varieties and they may have new ones that they've crossbred in America, but I think they're the two main species of pear as far as I'm aware. But I just thought it'd be nice to come out and compare the difference in sizes on my immature pear that fell prematurely, and to give you another indication of size, there's a kiwi fruit next to it. I mean, this isn't a particularly large pear, this QT, but it's a reasonably good size one, but that probably gives you an idea of the size of this pear. But although it's rock hard and green at the moment, I'm hoping while putting it in a bag with bananas there's an opportunity that it might ripen. But I just thought I'd do a short video discussing the two main species of pear, Pyrus Pyrifolia and Pyrus Communis, which are the Asian pears and the European pears. So sorry if I've waffled on a bit. I just sort of make the most of the nice weather to make a video. Thanks everybody for watching. Please remember to give the video a like. Welcome to share it with anyone you think might be interested who's growing pears. Please subscribe to my channel, of course. I'm nearly at 600, and if you hit the bell you will get updates of new videos as they come out, including of course when my Shinziki pear is ready. I've still got one Hongli left on the tree that hasn't fallen off in the winds, but it's actually smaller than this one, so I don't know if that's going to grow any more in September, as we've got particularly cold weather at the moment. We'll just have to wait and see. So thanks for watching everybody. I'll catch up with you all in the next video. Brett out for now.